For privacy reasons, names and places have been changed. This story is inspired by true events.
On the morning of July 12, 1998, 29-year-old botanist Quinn Harrison left his base camp in the San Juan Mountains of Colorado. He was studying rare alpine plants and planned a day hike, but he never returned. Despite an extensive search involving helicopters, search dogs, and expert mountaineers, Quinn Harrison vanished without a trace. For 27 years, his family lived with agonizing uncertainty, clinging to the hope that one day they would know what became of him. Then, in the summer of 2025, a startling discovery was made high on a remote glacier. This is the complete investigation into what happened to Quinn Harrison in the unforgiving wilderness of the Colorado Rockies. Before we continue, let us know where you're watching from, and if you enjoy this content, consider liking and subscribing to our channel. Now let's continue. Quinn Harrison, a 29-year-old botanist, held a deep fascination for the flora of the alpine regions. The San Juan Mountains of Colorado, a rugged and breathtaking landscape, served as his living laboratory. In late October 1998, he embarked on what was intended to be a week-long solo hike, a chance to document the late-blooming alpine flowers before winter's icy grip took hold. He meticulously planned his route, packed supplies, and informed friends and family of his itinerary. The initial days of his trek were marked by crisp, clear weather, ideal conditions for exploration. Quinn maintained regular contact with his base, reporting his progress and discoveries. However, the unpredictable mountain weather took a dramatic turn. A sudden blizzard swept through the region, bringing with it heavy snowfall, high winds, and plummeting temperatures. Quinn's last communication, a brief radio transmission, spoke of deteriorating conditions and his intent to seek shelter. The message was abruptly cut off, leaving his loved ones with a chilling sense of foreboding. As the storm raged, a search and rescue operation was launched. Experienced mountaineers and rescue personnel battled treacherous conditions, navigating through deep snow and limited visibility. The rugged terrain, now shrouded in a blanket of white, made the search a painstakingly slow and arduous process. Helicopters struggled to maintain stability in the fierce winds, and ground crews were forced to contend with the ever-present threat of avalanches. Days turned into a desperate, agonizing search. Quinn's family and friends anxiously awaited news, clinging to hope. Interviews with those closest to him painted a picture of a dedicated scientist, a passionate adventurer, and a loyal friend. They spoke of his infectious enthusiasm for the natural world and his unwavering determination. The impact of his disappearance reverberated through their lives, leaving a void that threatened to consume them. As the blizzard finally subsided, the stark reality of the situation became clear. Despite exhaustive efforts, no trace of Quinn Harrison could be found. The search was officially suspended, and Quinn was declared lost, presumed dead. The mountains, which had once been a source of wonder and inspiration for him, now held a tragic secret. The despair of his loved ones deepened, knowing that the answers they sought lay buried somewhere beneath the unforgiving snow and ice. The initial investigation into Quinn Harrison's disappearance began almost immediately after the search was called off. The San Juan County Sheriff's Department, faced with a challenging case in a remote and unforgiving environment, assembled a team of investigators. Their task was daunting: to piece together what had happened to Quinn in the midst of a raging blizzard, with limited physical evidence and the vastness of the mountain wilderness as their primary crime scene. Early theories ranged from accidental death, a fall from a treacherous cliff or into a hidden crevasse, to the possibility of Quinn simply losing his way in the blinding snow. Foul play, though considered, seemed less likely given the remote location and the apparent lack of any motive. Investigators interviewed those who had last been in contact with Quinn, meticulously reviewing his hiking plan, gear list, and the transcripts of his final radio transmission. They spoke with park rangers, experienced hikers familiar with the area, and meteorologists who analyzed the precise weather conditions during the blizzard. The initial investigators, some of whom had participated in the search and rescue operation, grappled with the frustrating lack of concrete evidence. The heavy snowfall had effectively erased any footprints or other signs that might have indicated Quinn's final movements. The storm's intensity also raised the possibility that any physical evidence, even a body, could have been swept away or buried deep beneath the snowpack, making recovery impossible. One individual who came under scrutiny early in the investigation was Robert Schultz, Quinn's frequent hiking partner. Schultz, who claimed to have been on a separate hiking trip at the time of the blizzard, provided an alibi that seemed credible. He cooperated with investigators, expressing shock and grief over Quinn's disappearance. It was later revealed that Schultz had been the beneficiary of a substantial life insurance policy taken out on Quinn, a fact that raised some eyebrows but ultimately could not be directly linked to any wrongdoing. As months passed, the investigation gradually stalled. The harsh weather conditions had obscured any potential clues, and the lack of witnesses or any evidence of foul play left investigators with little to go on. The case, though not officially closed, effectively went cold, another unsolved mystery swallowed by the vastness of the San Juan Mountains. The initial investigation, hampered by the unforgiving landscape and the destructive power of the blizzard, left Quinn's family and friends with unanswered questions and a profound sense of loss. Years turned into decades. The disappearance of Quinn Harrison became a cold case, a file tucked away in the archives of the San Juan County Sheriff's Department. The initial flurry of activity, the interviews, the searches, the analysis of scant evidence, all faded into a quiet hum of periodic reviews. Each year, as winter's grip loosened and the mountain snows retreated, a flicker of hope would ignite. Perhaps this year, the melting ice would reveal a clue, a piece of the puzzle that had eluded investigators for so long. But each year, the mountains remained silent, guarding their secrets. For Quinn's family and friends, the passage of time did little to diminish the pain of their loss. The unanswered questions, the lack of closure, became a constant companion. Interviews conducted years later revealed the enduring impact of Quinn's disappearance. His parents, now elderly, spoke of the recurring nightmare of their son lost and alone in the unforgiving wilderness. His friends recalled his infectious laughter, his boundless curiosity, and the shared adventures that now felt like echoes from a distant past. They clung to the hope, however faint, that someday they would learn what had happened to him. They refused to let his memory fade. The world of forensic science continued to advance during the years the case lay dormant. DNA analysis became more sophisticated, able to extract genetic information from even the smallest and most degraded samples. New techniques for analyzing trace evidence, like microscopic fibers and particles, emerged. These advancements, though seemingly irrelevant at the time, would eventually play a crucial role in resurrecting the investigation and bringing a glimmer of hope to a case long thought lost to the passage of time. The San Juan Mountains, stoic and indifferent to the human drama unfolding below, continued their slow, inexorable cycle of freezing and thawing. Each winter, the snow accumulated, burying the secrets held within its icy embrace. Each spring, the melt revealed a little more of the landscape, a tantalizing glimpse of what lay hidden. For 27 years, the mountains held their silence. The case of Quinn Harrison remained a chilling reminder of the power of nature and the fragility of human life. The hope of finding answers, of bringing closure to a grieving family, seemed as remote and inaccessible as the towering peaks themselves. The case was cold, frozen in time, waiting for a thaw that seemed unlikely to ever come. The summer of 2025 was unusually warm in the San Juan Mountains. Decades of accumulated ice and snow retreated further than anyone could remember, revealing sections of the mountainside that had been hidden for generations. One afternoon in late July, a group of hikers traversing a remote section of the range stumbled upon a startling discovery. Partially embedded in the melting ice, they spotted a lone hiking boot, its leather darkened and weathered by years of exposure to the elements. Intrigued, they approached cautiously, noticing a tattered piece of rope clinging to the boot's metal eyelets. Something about the scene felt unsettling, a sense that this was more than just a discarded piece of equipment. They contacted the local authorities, their discovery setting in motion a chain of events that would finally unravel a decades-old mystery. The San Juan County Sheriff's Department responded to the hikers' call, recognizing the potential significance of the find. A team of officers, accompanied by a forensic anthropologist, was dispatched to the remote location. The recovery of the boot was conducted with meticulous care, preserving the integrity of the surrounding area and any potential evidence. Photographs were taken, measurements were recorded, and the boot was carefully extracted from the ice, its every detail documented. Initial examination revealed the presence of what appeared to be dried organic matter inside the boot. This, along with the tattered rope, suggested the possibility that the boot had belonged to someone who had perished in the mountains. The boot and its contents were transported to the Colorado Bureau of Investigation's forensic laboratory. There, scientists began the painstaking process of analyzing the evidence. The organic material found inside the boot was subjected to DNA analysis, a technology far more advanced than what was available in 1998. The results were conclusive. The DNA profile matched that of Quinn Harrison, the botanist who had vanished without a trace 27 years earlier. The discovery sent a shockwave through the small town and reignited the investigation into his disappearance. Further analysis of the rope fragment found on the boot revealed another crucial piece of information. Microscopic examination showed that the fibers had been cleanly cut, not frayed as would be expected from natural wear and tear or a fall. This suggested that the rope had been deliberately severed, raising the chilling possibility that Quinn's disappearance had not been an accident. The discovery of the cut rope, combined with the identification of the boot, shifted the focus of the investigation from accidental death to potential foul play. Sergeant Dana Hernandez, a seasoned investigator with the San Juan County Sheriff's Department, was assigned to lead the newly reopened case. As she examined the recovered boot, her keen eye noticed something that had initially been overlooked: tiny flecks of a metallic substance clinging to the leather. Under magnification, the flecks glittered, revealing themselves to be gold dust. This seemingly insignificant detail would prove to be a crucial clue, a tiny golden thread that would ultimately lead investigators to the truth about what happened to Quinn Harrison in the remote and unforgiving wilderness of the San Juan Mountains. The discovery of Quinn Harrison's boot, coupled with the evidence suggesting foul play, breathed new life into the decades-old investigation. Sergeant Dana Hernandez, known for her meticulous approach and sharp intuition, took the helm. The gold dust found on the boot became her focal point. Its presence in such a remote location, far from any known commercial gold mines, immediately piqued her interest. Could this be a link to illegal mining activity? Could Quinn have stumbled upon something he shouldn't have? Hernandez began by revisiting the initial investigation, poring over the original reports, witness statements, and any physical evidence that had been collected. The name of Robert Schultz, Quinn's hiking partner, resurfaced. While Schultz had provided a seemingly credible alibi in 1998, the new evidence suggesting foul play cast a shadow of suspicion over his account. Hernandez delved deeper into Schultz's life, examining his financial records, interviewing his associates, and retracing his movements in the days leading up to and following Quinn's disappearance. Simultaneously, Hernandez initiated an investigation into illegal mining activity in the San Juan Mountains. She consulted with geologists, mining experts, and environmental agencies, seeking information about any reports of unauthorized prospecting or small-scale mining operations in the area. Her inquiries led her to the name of Andrew Barnes, a local prospector known for his secretive nature and rumored involvement in illicit gold mining. Hernandez learned that Barnes operated in remote, hard-to-reach areas of the mountains, far from established trails and often under the cover of darkness. He had a reputation for being fiercely protective of his claims and was known to have clashed with hikers and other outdoor enthusiasts who ventured too close to his operations. The description of Barnes' preferred mining locations aligned closely with the area where Quinn's boot had been discovered. The link between the gold dust on Quinn's boot and Andrew Barnes' illegal mining operation became increasingly compelling. Hernandez obtained soil samples from the area where Barnes was believed to be operating and submitted them for analysis. The results confirmed the presence of gold particles with a unique chemical signature, matching the dust found on Quinn's boot. This provided a crucial geographical connection between Quinn, Barnes, and the location of his disappearance. The focus of the investigation now shifted to establishing a connection between Robert Schultz and Andrew Barnes. Hernandez scrutinized Schultz's financial records, uncovering a series of unexplained deposits made shortly after Quinn's disappearance. Further investigation revealed that these deposits corresponded with payments made by Andrew Barnes. The financial trail suggested a possible motive. Schultz had been paid to silence Quinn, who had inadvertently stumbled upon Barnes' illegal mining operation. Hernandez continued to build her case, meticulously piecing together the puzzle. She interviewed individuals who had known both Schultz and Barnes, uncovering whispers and rumors of a clandestine partnership. Witnesses, some of whom had been reluctant to speak in 1998, now came forward with information about Schultz's unusual behavior in the days surrounding Quinn's disappearance. Their accounts, though circumstantial, added to the growing body of evidence against Schultz and Barnes. The net was closing in. The long-dormant case of Quinn Harrison was finally yielding its secrets, revealing a tale of greed, betrayal, and a desperate attempt to conceal a criminal enterprise beneath the icy cloak of the San Juan Mountains. The mounting evidence against Robert Schultz pointed towards a carefully concealed conspiracy. Sergeant Hernandez, armed with the financial records linking Schultz to Andrew Barnes and the corroborating witness testimonies, decided it was time to confront Schultz directly. He was brought in for questioning, initially maintaining his innocence and reiterating the alibi he had provided 27 years earlier. Hernandez presented him with the evidence, piece by piece: the recovered boot, the cut rope, the gold dust, the financial transactions, and the witness accounts. As the weight of the evidence bore down on him, Schultz's facade of composure began to crumble. The interrogation stretched late into the night. Hernandez employed a combination of empathy and unwavering resolve, slowly chipping away at Schultz's defenses. She spoke of Quinn's passion for the mountains, his dedication to his research, and the devastating impact his disappearance had had on his family and friends. She reminded Schultz of the life insurance policy, the sudden influx of cash after Quinn's disappearance, a detail he had conveniently omitted in his initial statements. Finally, faced with the undeniable evidence and the realization that his carefully constructed lies were unraveling, Robert Schultz confessed. He recounted the events of that fateful day in the San Juan Mountains. He admitted to hiking with Quinn, confirming that they had indeed stumbled upon Andrew Barnes' illegal mining operation. Quinn, shocked and angered by the environmental damage, had threatened to report Barnes to the authorities. Barnes, fearing exposure and the potential loss of his illicit profits, had offered Schultz a substantial sum of money to silence Quinn permanently. Schultz, blinded by greed and the promise of financial security, had accepted the offer. He described how, during the blizzard, he had deliberately cut Quinn's rope while he was attempting to navigate a treacherous section of the mountain. He then pushed Quinn into a deep crevasse, watching as his friend disappeared into the icy depths. Schultz's confession, chilling in its detail, painted a picture of cold-blooded betrayal, a life tragically extinguished for the sake of greed. With Schultz's confession in hand, Hernandez moved swiftly to apprehend Andrew Barnes. He was taken into custody at his remote cabin, where investigators discovered further evidence linking him to the illegal mining operation and his connection to Schultz. Barnes, initially defiant, eventually succumbed to the overwhelming evidence against him. He admitted to paying Schultz to silence Quinn, confirming the details of the conspiracy that had led to Quinn's death. The case against Schultz and Barnes was solidified by the meticulous work of Erica Ford, a forensic technician at the Colorado Bureau of Investigation. Ford conducted a detailed analysis of the gold dust found on Quinn's boot, comparing it to samples taken from Barnes' mining operation. Her analysis confirmed the unique chemical signature of the gold, definitively linking Quinn to the location where he had last been seen alive. Ford also analyzed the cut rope fibers found on the boot, confirming that they had been severed with a sharp instrument, consistent with Schultz's confession. Her expert testimony would prove crucial in securing convictions against both men. The breakthrough in the case, a combination of meticulous investigative work, scientific analysis, and a confession born of guilt and the weight of evidence, finally brought a semblance of closure to a case that had haunted the San Juan Mountains for nearly 3 decades. The trials of Robert Schultz and Andrew Barnes captivated the nation, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of seemingly ordinary lives. Schultz, his face etched with remorse and resignation, pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder. He was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 30 years. Barnes, unrepentant and defiant to the end, maintained his innocence throughout the trial. The prosecution, however, presented a compelling case, weaving together the financial records, witness testimonies, and the forensic evidence linking him to the crime. The jury found him guilty of conspiracy to commit murder and aiding and abetting a felony. He received a life sentence without the possibility of parole. The resolution of the case brought a complex mix of emotions for Quinn Harrison's family and friends. Relief that justice had finally been served mingled with the profound sadness of a life tragically cut short. Interviews conducted after the trials revealed the enduring impact of Quinn's loss. His parents, though frail, expressed gratitude for the closure the convictions provided. They spoke of the bittersweet comfort of knowing the truth, of finally being able to lay their son to rest, both physically and emotionally. Quinn's friends, their faces etched with grief and a lingering sense of disbelief, recalled their shared adventures, their laughter echoing through the years. They spoke of the void that Quinn's absence had left in their lives, a void that would never truly be filled. The resolution, while bringing closure, also served as a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the devastating consequences of greed and betrayal. The case of Quinn Harrison became a testament to the importance of perseverance in solving cold cases. The advancements in forensic science, the meticulous preservation of evidence, and the unwavering dedication of investigators like Sergeant Dana Hernandez and Erica Ford demonstrated that even the coldest of cases could be thawed, yielding their secrets to the relentless pursuit of truth. The gold dust, a seemingly insignificant detail, became the key that unlocked the mystery, a tiny golden thread that led investigators through a labyrinth of deceit and ultimately brought justice to Quinn and his family. The story of Quinn Harrison serves as a poignant reminder of the enduring power of the human spirit. His passion for the natural world, his infectious enthusiasm, and his unwavering dedication to his research left an indelible mark on those who knew him. His tragic death, a senseless act of violence in the pristine wilderness he loved, became a symbol of the fragility of life and the importance of protecting the natural wonders that inspire us. The San Juan Mountains, silent witnesses to both the beauty and the tragedy that unfolded within their embrace, continue to stand as a testament to the enduring power of nature and the enduring legacy of Quinn Harrison, the botanist who vanished into the ice, only to be rediscovered decades later, bringing with him a tale of betrayal, greed, and the unwavering pursuit of justice.